Before we get into this video, I just want to go over some top comments from the previous videos. Now, there are some awesome comments throughout the entirety of my channel, and unfortunately, I have to pick only about 3 or 4 to go over. I want you guys to make it harder for me and keep posting awesome comments. We're going to be starting off with Eric NG, and he says, honestly, my apologies, the one thing that makes your videos stand out is your explanations for each of your card choices. Not all YouTubers explain their cards in such detail, but the one thing that makes you stand out is that you guys have a low subscriber count, but rather focus on good content. I think he meant you have a lower subscriber count, but focus on good content, since I'm only one person. Another thing which makes you stand out compared to the others is that you have your own style. You are hella stylish. I love this playmat and the high rarity cards in this deck. Keep up the amazing content. Now, before we even talk about this comment, I have to point out that 9 people like this, bro. That's like a world record. 4 comments. I gotta give you props, but thank you. I really appreciate your comment, and I really do hope to continuously making great content for not only you to enjoy, but for everyone to enjoy, and hopefully we can fix that low subscriber count thing going on. Lucid Owl says, thumbs up for highlighting your subscribers' comments, something new and fresh. Well, I just wanted to put highlight on his highlight on highlighting my highlights. I just thought it would be a really awesome paradox, and it's a pretty cool comment. Next is Jim Derringer, and he was like, frogs make me happy. I want a Toad Link to make Totally Wall terrifying again. This came from the Paleozoic Frog deck profile. For the people that did not know, I do have one on my channel. Stay you, Cali, and never fake that enthusiasm like a lot of Yugi tubers do. Ooh, the shots fired. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and point out any Yugi tubers, and I'm not going to say anything about that, but I definitely enjoyed this content because all jokes or all comments have some truthness to it. But before we can get into this video, another thing I want to talk about is the top subscribers. These guys have helped me in a multitude of ways, either being a part of the Patreon, buying or selling cards for me. I hope to put a lot more people on here, and I've been slacking. I have to put a lot more people on here. Now let's get into the video. ABC is probably one of my favorite competitive decks. Reason being is dating back to when Kaiba used X, Y, and Z to make XYZ Dragon Catapult. It had me stoked over a competitive Union deck. Fast forward into November 17, we actually have a very competitive Union deck. And not only am I going to be giving you guys a deck profile of it, I'm going to be giving you guys a budget option. Now go ahead and make sure you smash on that subscribe button. She is a hoe, I'm telling you. Get some before somebody with something gets her, all right? And if you already smashed on her, make sure you get her sister, Notification Squad, because we just too strong. Without further ado, I present to you a competitive ABC deck profile plus budget options. Alright guys, starting into the deck profile, we're going to run 3 copies of A. I'm just going to go through the ABC monsters, 3 copies of B, and 3 copies of C. I just wanted to put them down first before I started talking about them. These are the essentials to the deck. Seeing that it is an ABC deck, we max on all 3 copies because I feel that there is a use and versatility in every single one. C being even more important now than ever, being able to special summon your monsters from your hand to your side of the field to complete a lot of link plays. B being able to search your ABC monsters, and A being able to recurse your monsters from the graveyard. I think a really good thing, or a really big thing that people are sleeping on, is that your ABC monsters actually protect your monsters that they are equipped to by their corresponding color. So A, Assault Core protects the monsters from monster effects, B, Buster Drake protects the monsters from spells, and C, Crush Wyvern protects the monsters from traps. A lot of people sleep on that. Another thing is that your ABC monsters can be special summoned from the equipped zone during the next turn, and that's something that I just see a lot of people sleep on. Be sure to use those effects as well as the field and graveyard effects. Next, 2 copies of one of each, or actually 1 copy of one of each gadget. Being able to get that second summon is really good for this deck. Gold and Silver Gadget really complement the deck by not only putting another machine monster on board for a quick rank play, but also allowing you to be searchable by Geargag and X. 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Now, for the people that can't afford Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, just sit tight for a little bit. I'm going to be showing you basically another deck profile, which is an alternative to this build. But if you really really want to try to stick to this build, I guess you can try Ghost Ogres and Snow Rabbits. This is really good for stopping your opponent from searching. I mean, it's kind of a mandatory in this meta. 3 copies of Droll Lock, and this is where the deck even gets more expensive. The hand traps are worth more than the entire core for this deck, and that's ridiculous. But Droll Lock, I really feel is going to be a pivotal card against cards like True Draco and Pendulum Magician, and possibly even still competitive Spirals. So I decided to main board them as opposed to side decking them. 1 copy of Destrudo Noodle. Now this card still takes the deck to the extreme. Half your life points isn't even a cost when you're able to make Buster Dragon and Decode Talker with the help of this card. And then 1 copy of Supreme King Dragon Darkwurm. It is a level 4 monster that can special summon itself from the graveyard, so it makes some awesome link plays. But if you want it back into your graveyard, just use it for an Exceed summon. 1 copy of the Gem Knight Garnet, because we do run the Brilliant Fusion engine. For the people that are trying to go the budget route or the different approach for the ABC deck profile, you're not going to need the hand traps or the Brilliant Fusion engine. So it is a little bit of a more budget option. 1 copy of Heavy Mech Support Armor. This card is nasty good. Okay, so if you can equip it to your ABC Buster Dragon, you can make your Buster Dragon can't be targeted. So that's just like really good in a format where a lot of cards target. The next thing is that it can recurse all of your ABC monsters to your side of the field for a link play, and you'll gain your ABC monsters effects. It's just really good. It's also searchable by Union Hangar, and you can equip it to one of your monsters through Union Hangar. 1 copy of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. I felt that 7 hand traps was pretty good, and I really didn't think that Maxi was that great of a card. I mean, True Draco doesn't care. Pendulum Magician can stop. Trick Stars can stop and don't really care. It'll probably punish you for doing it. And the only deck that it was really good against was ABC, which I already felt my matchup was really strong for. So I went with the Ghost Ogre. It stops a lot of face-up field spells and just a lot of face-up card effects. That is it for the monsters at what I think is 22. For the spells, 3 copies of Union Hangar. This is the most important spell card to the deck. Being able to search ABC monsters from your deck to your hand and then equip Union monsters from your ABC or from your deck to your side of the field is awesome. This card is pivotal. 3 copies of Dragon Ravine. Now, I only run 2 targets, but Destrudo Noodle was able to put itself to the bottom of the deck every time it would be used for a synchro summon. So it's pretty good to have this card maxed out because you want to see Destrudo as fast as possible, and then you can keep on using Destrudo Noodle. I mean, I know it's half your life points, but it really doesn't matter what the board you're going to push out. 3 copies of Brilliant Fusion. Now, Brilliant Fusion and Dragon Ravine actually serve a second purpose. Dragon Ravine actually puts ABC monsters that I need from my hand to my graveyard, and Brilliant Fusion can fuel my graveyard with ABC monsters that I need. So both of these cards are working indirectly to put ABC parts from my hand or deck to the graveyard, which could fuel for another free Buster Dragon. 3 copies of Terraforming. We run 6 field spell cards. All of them we want to see. Dragon Ravine is going to equal to the Union Hangar, and sometimes we just need to see Union Hangar. And then 1 copy of the SETI Roro, because it is like another Terraforming. I don't mind giving them a Dragon Ravine if I get the Union Hangar and vice versa. It's going to go to graveyard anyways when I activate Ancient Fairy Dragon. 1 copy of Foolish Burial. This card actually allows me to send my pivotal ABC monsters from my deck to my graveyard. 1 Raigeki and 1 Dark Hole. Board clearance, I feel, is going to be really good coming into the format. So I'm not really 100% sure what deck is going to top, but I'm pretty sure every single deck, you know, could be wiped out with a board clear. So that's it for the spells. The spells are 14 if I'm correct. The traps is 3 copies of Solemn Strike and 1 copy, I'm not even going to show you guys that yet. Solemn Strike is way better than Solemn Warning this format, because as you guys can evidently see, I'm running 7 hand traps. I don't care about the summon. I care about stopping hand traps. I care about preventing myself from being ogred, Ash, Droll Lock, whatever is the need that my opponent is going to try to do to get over me, and that's why I run 3 Solemn Strikes over the Solemn Warning. And I don't run the Solemn Warning. I actually run 1 copy of Skill Drain. Skill Drain is a complete blowout. If you guys have seen, Alex Wiener actually played this card into the video. Boop, right there. You just click on that video, go right there. It's ABC versus Spiral. But this card is a complete blowout against decks that need their monster effects. This is a deck that doesn't necessarily need its monster effects because it's going to be too busy locking your opponent out of theirs. It's just an awesome card. Also keep in mind, you can still activate both of ABC Dragon Buster's effects. If you activate the effect to banish, just chain the effect to tribute to spell summon your ABC Buster Dragon monsters or your ABC monsters, and then you can still banish that card. So this is a really good card. That's going to end up with the main deck at 42. Should I show them the alternative deck profile right now? Okay, so let me just show you guys the alternative deck profile. So you're going to keep in the strikes. You're going to take out the Skill Drain. So I'm just going to put this right here. This is optional. I probably wouldn't play it, but actually, yeah, you're going to take them out because I want to stay at 42. You're going to
this is optional as well. You can take that out. The set rotations, the terraformings, those are mandatory. We're going to take out the brilliant fusions. We're going to keep the Dragon Ravine. The reason why we're keeping all of these cards is because it still allows me to tutor into the cards that I need. I really still want to get ABC Buster Dragon to the field, and I still don't want to be hit by hand traps. Even more, this card is even more important now than before because Ash Blossom, this deck is this build is going to be more susceptible to. I'm going to drop the Ogre. I think I dropped the Ogre. I'm going to drop the Garnet. So you're going to keep these. I'm going to keep the Noodle. I'm going to drop the Droll Locks. I'm going to drop the Ash Blossoms. And I'm going to obviously keep my ABC monsters. So we're up to, it should be 28 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So we can add one more card, which I am probably just going to add back the Foolish Bear. Or actually, yeah, we're going to add back the Foolish Burial just because. So we're at 28 cards. Our 12 cards that we're going to be playing, we're going to be playing Artifact ABC. This deck is nasty good, I'm telling you. And I'm going to give you a couple reasons why. So first of all, you have 2 copies of Artifact Scythe. What this card does is when it's special summon, it allows you to lock your opponent out of your extra deck. Card saucy. And keep in mind, every single artifact monster that I'm going to show you, they can be used for Destrudo Noodle targets to summon itself and make an Ancient Fairy Dragon or whatever you guys choose. 1 copy of Artifact Moral Attack. This destroys opponent's face-up cards. 2 copies of Artifact Ignition. This is for when you lock yourself out of your artifact cards and you want to destroy them, or you just can destroy your opponent's spells and traps. And I actually forgot about another monster, which is Beagle Tack. Another card that if you draw multiple artifacts, you can just Sanctum the Beagle Tack and then destroy your artifacts. I wanted to run a 3rd Scythe. That's up to you guys. You can drop the Foolish Burial since you have, since you will have 27 cards, and then add the Scythes. 3 copies of Artifact Sanctum. Now this card is really good, and a reason why you want to keep in the Solemn Strike. So Solemn Strikes is going to prevent this from being Ash Blossom. More importantly, it's going to tutor your Artifact Safes, your Moral Attacks, and your Beagle Attacks, and it forces your opponent, if they want to destroy your cards, they're probably going to pay for it if, they're using cards like Heavy Storm Duster or Mystical Space Typhoon, because Sanctum is going to destroy cards on the side of the field. The last card that's really nutty, not only for the ABCs, but also for the artifacts, is 3 copies of Call It a Hunted. So Call It a Hunted is going to special summon your artifact monsters from your graveyard to your side of the field, which if you do hard drive, you can discard them for Dragon's Ravine, which is another reason why you don't have to play these cards, but I gave you guys the option. It's also really good for special summoning your ABC monsters to your side of the field, which is going to, actually, why am I even playing Call It a Hunted? There's no reason. These should be back to the front, all right? These are literally, just take out the Call It a Hunted, completely erase that from your mind. These are back to the fronts. They do the exact same thing, except back to the front doesn't equip to the monster. So I'm just so old. I'm an old head. I'm stuck to like playing Call It a Hunted. You know what I mean? But these should be back to the fronts. The only reason why I'm playing them is because I found them in my binder. They're ultra rare. They were nice. So that is it for the artifact variant, and I'm telling you, that artifact variant is spicy. So we're going to go back to the original variant, the competitive build, and I'm going to show you what I run. 3 copies of ABC Dragon Buster. Most important card. Want me to move it over? Move this out the way? All right, for sure. 3 copies of Dragon Buster. The most important card. This card allows you basically to play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's the best card of the deck. Being able to banish cards on your opponent's side of the field and then special summon A, B, and C counterparts to your side of the field is really good. The Gem Knight Garnet. If you guys are playing the Artifact build, you might want to play a rank 5 monster like Constellar Pleiades instead of Seraph Knight. Seraph Knight's not going to do you any help. 2 copies of Ancient Fairy Dragon. I've actually noticed that this deck can make Ancient Fairy Dragon multiple times, so why not play multiple Ancient Fairy Dragons? 1 Utopia and the Lightning combo for, a situation when you want to get over your opponent's monsters. Gear Dragon X, Diamond Dire Wolf. Those are also very good cards that allows you to get over certain situations. 2 copies of Proxy Dragons. Cards mandatory. It's literally made for ABC. Links are made for ABC in that aspect. And then 2 copies of Decode Talker. Another card made for ABC. Basically, if you have these 2 on the field, you can use the Buster Dragon, tribute itself, special summon 3 ABC monsters. If you have Union Hangar, equip another monster to it. But more importantly, Decode Talker will allow you to tribute those ABC monsters to prevent you from being targeted by your opponent's card effects and trigger your ABC monsters effects. So like I said, these cards are literally made for ABC. 2 and 2 is like the perfect number. That is it for the extra deck. If you guys have noticed, it's only 14. I'm going to leave the option to you. You can play Clearwing Synchro Dragon. It's another 7. You're going to be using Destrudo Noodle or not. Tornado Dragon. I actually like this card for getting over back row. Baguska is a risky card in this deck because we actually go into a lot of Synchros and Exceeds. But if you guys want to lock your opponent out, it's a pretty good choice. And that's pretty much it. There's also some really good options. I'm pretty sure you guys will find one. For the extra deck, 3 copies of side deck, 3 copies of Evenly Matched. Losing your battle phase Doesn't really mean anything if you get to banish your opponent's board. 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier. This is for the Pendulum matchup. I guess it's really good against other matchups, but literally for the Pendulum matchup. 2 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. I felt that this deck didn't need 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone, but it did need some type of board clearance. Cosmic Cyclone actually comes to your aid. 2 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. These are the other 2 for when I see a deck that's just like really annoying that needs to be Ghost Ogre, such as Vermel or such. And then this card is like really good. I was actually going to play Anti-Magic Arrows, but I felt that this card was better for a couple of reasons. Artifact Lancia. If you guys are playing the Artifact build, you can mix this into your main board because it's so good. It's good against Ash Blossom. Or not Ash Blossom. It's good against Evenly Matched. It's good against Trick Stars. It's good against Infernoids. It's just good against so many applications in this game, and it can be activated from the field if you do special summon it with Sanctum. So that's really good. What I really did notice about this deck is that it had a terrible matchup with Trick Stars. I'm pretty scared of the Trick Star matchup. Not necessarily because I can't beat them. It's just the fact that being able to they can banish your hand. They can do so many nasty things to you, but the burn is going to be pretty bad seeing that you draw, you search, and you have a lot of cards on your field in hand. So I actually run 2 copies of DDD King Leonidas. I felt that the Trickstar matchup out of every matchup was the worst matchup for the deck. So this card is nutty against them. Being able to special summon itself, prevent damage, it's literally going to outright win you the game if your opponent tries to burn you with it. It's a really good card. Now that we're done with the main deck, the side deck, the alternative deck, and the extra deck, let me show you guys a couple of combos. Man, I'm telling you, these ABC combos, they don't come far and few between. They're plentiful. I'm going to show you 3 awesome combos that can be used with both variants. The first combo is going to require 1 Bee-Buster Dragon, Dragon's Ravine, and a card to discard. It can be any card. It can be cards that aren't even in there, as long as you can discard it. So we're going to activate Dragon's Ravine and discard the card. We're actually just going to say, sure, it's King Rebel Leonidas. And with that, we're going to descend Destrudo Noodle from our deck to our graveyard. Next, we're going to normal summon Bee-Buster Drake and then activate the Destrudo Noodle, paying half of our life points to special summon itself. I know that seems like a lot, but we're only gonna wind up paying 3,000 at the end. Use the Destrudo Noodle and Bee-Buster Drake to special summon Ancient Fairy Dragon. That should trigger oh, this will actually go to the deck, my apologies. That'll trigger Bee-Buster Drake's effect, and you're gonna add, sure, let's add a Assault Core. You're gonna add a Assault Core from your deck to your hand. Use the effect of Ancient Fairy Dragon to destroy the Dragon's Ravine to add a Union Hangar from your deck to your hand. Activate the effect of Union Hangar, and then you're going to add, I guess it doesn't matter, you're going to add C to your hand. Now you're going to use the effect of Ancient Fairy Dragon to special summon a Assault Core. A Assault Core's effect is gonna, Union Hangar's effect is going to activate, and that's gonna attach another Sea Crush Wyvern from your deck to your side of the field. Use a Assault Core use a Assault Core and Ancient Fairy Dragon with the Sea Crush Wyvern. Obviously, it doesn't count as a material, but it's all good, to make Proxy Dragon. Now, Sea Crush Wyvern's effect is going to activate. If you guys have wanted, you could have actually, instead of this, made it a Bee-Buster Drake and special summon it. That actually would have been the better idea. Let me just go back. And instead of searching that, we're going to search the Bee-Buster Drake. I thought I had another way to search. We're going to special summon the Bee-Buster Drake again. You use the Bee-Buster Drake and the Proxy Dragon to make your B-Cold Bulker. Now you can banish B, A, and C to special summon ABC Buster Dragon to your side of the field. And you also have another monster in your graveyard for another link play, as well as another monster, which will probably be A or C, in your hand for another ABC Dragon Buster. The next combo is going to require Sea Crush Wyvern, any ABC monster, Silver Gadget, or any gadget, and Union Hangar. What you are going to do is you're going to activate Union Hangar, and that's going to add, I'm trying to think right now. It's going to add Bee-Buster Drake from your deck to your hand. Normal summon Silver Gadget and then special summon Bee-Buster Drake. Activate the effect of Union Hangar to equip Sea Crush Wyvern. Now we're going to use both Silver Gadget and Bee-Buster Drake to make, where is it? Proxy Dragon. Bee-Buster Drake is going to activate, and so is Sea Crush Wyvern. Since we have an ABC monster in our hand, we're going to actually add this A Assault Core and special summon the A Assault Core at the same time. Now, a lot of people will cheat because you can kind of get away with it. If you have cards in your hand, you can just add an ABC part and special summon an ABC part as long as you have a card in hand. There's really No way to get around that. Your judges can't even like verify or anything. I know it's really bad, but we're gonna just say we had an ABC card in the hand generally, so we can skip the cheating part. We're gonna use the Proxy Dragon and the A Assault Core to make Decode Talker, and then banish A, B, and C. Boom, boom, boom. To make ABC Buster Dragon. Now you guys are realizing that, dang, this is pretty much the basis of the deck. Make Decode Talker with an ABC Dragon Buster to it. The deck's really good at doing that. The next combo you are going to need the Heavy Mech Support, Brilliant Fusion, and Union Hangar. Activate the Brilliant Fusion. Activate the Brilliant Fusion, sending B. Where is it? Sending B and the Garnet from your deck to the graveyard. Then praise all heavens that you didn't hard draw the Garnet. Then you're gonna special summon Gem Knight Garnet, which is going to give you 2 summons. You're going to use your first summon to normal summon the Heavy Mech Support. Actually, you can activate Union Hangar. It doesn't really matter at this time. Activate Union Hangar. Union Hangar is going to search A. And then normal summon the Heavy Mech Support to special summon the B Buster Drake. Union Hangar is going to activate, and then you can equip C to the B Buster Drake. Use the B Buster Drake, the Heavy Mech Support Armor, and the Gem Knight Garnet to make Decode Talker. That's going to trigger the Sea Crush Wyvern to summon the A. If you happen to have another monster in hand, a level 4 monster, we're just going to say Sea Crush Wyvern, you can summon it and then use both of these monsters to make Gear Gagan X. It has to be a machine monster for it to make Gear Gagan X. Use Gear Gagan X to detach the A Assault Core to add any other monster to your deck to your hand. We're going to just banish, banish, and banish. And guess what we going to have, bro? ABC Dragon Buster. This deck is really good at making Decode Talker ABC Dragon Buster, and that is basically a win condition. Being able to prevent your opponent from targeting your cards through Decode Talker, and then being able to banish your opponent's cards and cycle to 3 monsters that are level 4, easy for rank, and more link plays are really good. I wanted to play Barrel Load Dragon. It's another card that you could play. I didn't have it right now, and that probably would have been my 15th card. Well, thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. I know we're going to do it one more time. Which one of these decks do you guys want to see next? This is probably going to be one of the last 2 decks we'll see, so choose wisely. More importantly, you can support this channel by going to Patreon, and I'm telling you, Patreon members, they get some advantages. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.